हाय।
हाय प्रियंकनी, आप ज्वाइन कर लिया ना आपने? ओके ओके
हाँ
ओके ओके ओके। सो इट्स फाइन। आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
हाँ हाँ, आपका आवाज आ रहा है। एम आई ऑडिबल? लाइक मेरा आवाज आ रहा है आपको?
हाँ हाँ, आ रहा आ रहा।
ठीक।
ओके ओके। सो कैन वी स्टार्ट? अभी तो टाइम है वैसे, लेकिन अभी हम वॉइस वॉइस देख रहे हैं, लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं काफ़ी हमें।
हाँ
हाँ, तो आपका थोड़ा सा फोन मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ा टिल्ट करोगे, आपका फेस ऊपर से कट रहा है थोड़ा सा। हाँ, अब थोड़ा सा ठीक, और थोड़ा सा ठीक हो।
अभी?
अब ठीक है, अब ठीक है, अब ठीक है, अब ठीक है। तो आई थिंक मैं थोड़ा सा कुछ लोगों को और ज्वाइन करने देते हैं। पीपल्स आर ज्वाइनिंग राइट नाउ। आई थिंक अराउंड 9 people ऑलरेडी ज्वाइन।
यस, लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर जॉइनिंग।
हाँ
हाय
हाँ, तो
वैशाली।
आप।
ट्रैवल इंडिया गाइड संयुक्ता।
राइट
अच्छा,
राइट।
ओके।
सो सो कैन
गुड
वी
इवनिंग
स्टार्ट
मैम।
प्रियंकनी?
ओके, टेल योर नेम, हु इज दैट ट्रैवल ब्लॉगर? गुड इवनिंग मैम। यस, गुड इवनिंग। Mr. Roy. Okay. Hi, Mr. Roy.
सो
Flasher. Okay.
So Priyankani, I think it's 8 o'clock. Now we have to start. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
hello
we can start.
everyone. Uh, Welcome to all of you on TURNSKILL Live. Today we have start our second session. I am Vishal Bess, founder of TURNSKILL. We have started our TURNSKILL Live. TURNSKILL Live is mainly for the students, where we are trying to solve their problems for the job, placement, their career related counseling, their communication skills, and other areas. So today we have our guest, Priyankani Mahanta. She is basically a confidence coach and author, and also she is a mentor on the tennis skill. So welcome to Priyankani. And
Thank you,
so
sir.
okay. So Priyankani, can you now we have started today's session. Can you please share about your profile to our viewers? Who
Yes,
exactly is Priyankani and what exactly is doing Priyankani,
sure,
and
sure.
how Priyankani can solve their problems?
Okay, okay, sure. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. And as Vishalji has already given a very good introduction that I'm a confidence coach, I'm an author, right? So, let me give my introduction from my side. So, my name is Priyankini. I'm a mother of two beautiful daughters, wife of a super supportive husband, an engineer turned a public speaking trainer, turned a confidence coach, turned an author. Okay, so what I do is, I train people on public speaking skills basically, and now I have taken up confidence coaching. So that is related to public speaking. So since around 2015, I started my journey as a public speaking trainer. So I started my journey in an international school training kids, okay, overall like grade 3 till grade 10. So I started my journey at Indus International School, Bangalore, and then I started training like people of almost all age groups, sales background, people like CAT aspirants, MBA final year graduates, and like lots and lots of people, Montessori teachers, right? So 3 years back, I entered confidence coaching because I felt somewhere that training is not sufficient for people, so the problem is not technical, right? You don't know English, you can't speak English, so those things are technical, but the problem is deep inside. So the problem is the fear, right? People have the self doubt that will I be able to do it? Will I be able to communicate? Will I be able to speak? Right? So that is where coaching comes in, right? So that's about my journey, and here I am to transform people and work with you and train you, coach you on your speaking skills.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Priyankani. So, Priyankani, now we have started our today's journey. The Turn Skill Live, we have structured this way that the initially we have take one topic each week, and we have discussed about something on that particular topic for that particular week. And after completion of this discussion, we will take some question and answers from our viewers. So all of our viewers who have any kind of questions at the end of this session, we will invite them to join our this meeting, and we will add them, and they will interact you directly one-on-one basis. So this is the whole structure about this program. Okay.
Wow.
So now,
That
so
sounds interesting. So
okay.
we will have an interactive sessions as well. So guys, those who are here, still stay till the end so that I can take your questions and your doubts will be clear.
Definitely, definitely. So, Priyankani, first thing I want to know that uh, as today's our topic is communications. So, communications skill is very important in our life. Okay,
Yes.
in each aspect, like in our daily life, and in our career, in our workplace. Yeah, so what exactly, how you define the communication skills, and what is the effect on our daily life, and how we will take advantage to have a good communication skills in our personal.
Okay. So the word communication, it has come from the word commune. Okay.
Right.
So the meaning of the word commune is to share. Okay. Commune meaning share. So when you share your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, that is communication. At the same time, you listen to people and they share their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That is called communications. Now, it is a continuous process. Till the day you are born and you are in the cradle, till you die. So it's a continuous process. Like there is no day when you will just stay without, like मौन व्रत हम रख लेते हैं ना, तो कितना मुश्किल होता है, right? We have to speak, right? So it's a
Right.
continuous process. Like in the cradle जब baby नया आता है, so the way of communication is crying. When the baby cries, we understand that okay, either he's or she's hungry, और डायपर चेंज करने का टाइम आ गया है, या पेट में दर्द हो रहा है, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम, right?
Problem.
That is the way
Right.
of communication.
Right.
Now
Right.
as we go up, the you know it differs, the way of communication, it differs. Now I have seen some people who have really achieved something in life, right? Like one of the examples is obviously Vishalji. So, recently I was observing Narendra Modi. So these people, who have attained that affluent lifestyle, that kind of abundance, that kind of position, they are very much grounded. And we love those people and we connect to those people so well. You know why we are able to connect those people? Because they have a very good communication skills. They
Communication.
know how to talk to which kind of people, right?
Right.
So yes, this is the importance of communication.
So, thank you, Priyankani. You have very well described the communications and the communicate how we will use in our daily life. My second question is, what is the language barrier you think about this communications? Mean, in the language barrier is also means people are hesitate. For example, as in North India, they don't know English, so they are hesitate in their interviews. So, what is you think about the language barrier? Means how
Yes.
it will easy to communicate their mother tongue or Hindi में बात करें या their mother tongue. So, what is the effect for the communications in the language means and their personality? For
Okay.
example,
So we,
I will give you the example that like our PM, as you given the example of Ms. Narendra Modi ji, he will speak mainly in the Hindi. हिंदी में वो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा स्पीच
हाँ,
देते हैं, but बहुत जरूरी होता then only they will use to English. So they will connect to the people in their rallies and other things, right? So मुझे ये जानना था कि what is the effect of basically the language, how you will be defined.
okay. So, language is sometimes definitely a barrier in communication when you are not on the same page. Same page यानी कि suppose मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, right?
हाँ
मैं उर्दू बोल रही हूँ और आपको मतलब उसका ABCD उर्दू का कुछ भी नहीं पता है, right? And I'm continuously talking in Urdu. So that makes no sense, right? So then that is where language is a barrier. I remember one example now here. So once I read through a research, so what happened is in a hospital, okay, that was a hospital in the south. So what happened is a North Indian got admitted there. Okay, he was having some kidney failure or something. And what happened is the nurse, the nurse was little irritated, and the moment she enters the room, she starts scolding that patient, okay, in her language, in Kannadiga language. Okay, then he is not able to understand and he tries to communicate in Hindi. But again, she, वो गुस्सा करती है, वो डांटती है उनको, right? So over the time, what happened is he went into depression because there was a language barrier, and the doctors, when they came to know about it, they found that he was not able to understand the language which the nurse was talking, and the nurse was able to understand Hindi to some extent, because that and that led to his delayed recovery. Okay, so yeah, language is sometimes a barrier, definitely. But yes, again, as I said, like if you are on the same page, suppose the person in front of you, he understands both, Urdu, Hindi, English, Bengali. So whatever he understands, you can use that language. It's not a compulsion that, okay, only when you speak in English, you sound really great, or you sound really, really hi-fi, or that, right? So nowadays, normally, that is a tag which people think that only if I, speak in English and then I sound hoshy poshy and people will listen to me. No. If
no,
you're
right.
comfortable in Hindi, definitely Hindi is, of course, a good way of communication.
It means that the person's knowledge is important, not the language mainly.
Yes, yes, very much, very much.
Okay, so now we come again for the communications skills. What is the correct ways for communications? Means because if you see that the communications skills is very important in our workplace, like for the customer care service executives, you see how they are talking for the workplace for a software developer, because we have a lot of software developer in our viewers right now. So software developers, they are talk with their team members, their clients, their business analysis. So what is the correct way of communications? You means, is it any specific framework, is it, or you will just use it
Okay.
anything?
So, as you talked about workplace, I will answer this question with respect to workplace. So, I think in a workplace, the best things to remember is listening and paraphrasing. I will come to body language and other things a little later. So, when I talk about listening, now, see, Vishalji, you're talking and I'm listening to you. I'm talking, you're listening to me, right? So you feel valued. I also feel valued. Okay, somebody is listening to me, and my viewers are listening to me, right? Take a random example of husband and wife, right? So the husband who listens to the wife is the best husband in the world, and they have the solid relationship, right? So same
Right.
thing. It works in a work scenario. Suppose you listen to your boss, you become the best employee, right? This is about listening. You have to listen carefully, feel, not only hear, not only listen, but feel what the other person is feeling, right? That is active listening. Now, when I talk about paraphrasing, I would like to demonstrate that paraphrasing out here. So suppose, for example, let's take a scenario wherein, you, suppose you were on an off yesterday, and today you come to office, you talk to your colleague. The moment you say, hi, Harshita, so she starts, pouring out what happened yesterday. She says that, what, you were not there yesterday. The boss was so angry. He was screaming. He came to my room and then he was like, okay, you have 12 hours to complete this presentation, and otherwise you will be out of the company. He was so, he was angry, right? So how do I respond? If I say, hmm,
Okay. So,
right? So, see,
yeah,
now when I say, so that is not, that means that you're not interested, right? At the same, on the other hand, if I say, when she says that, okay, the boss was screaming, what? Is it? Really? Now, when she says that, okay, you know what, in 12 hours, we have to do the presentation ready. What? 12 hours? So this is called paraphrasing. When, you know, you repeat the last part of what the speaker is speaking. So that is paraphrasing. So that is, I think, in a work scenario, that is very important. Whether you're talking to your boss, your colleague, right, or your senior, your even the peon or the housekeeper, that, you know, paraphrasing plays an important role. So second aspect, I would say that body language, right? Because I was listening to Antonio Lassine last yesterday. So what he said is, when you are arrogant and when you are not arrogant, there is only 1 inch of difference. You know what is that? Now, normally, when you say face to face like this, how are you? Right? You lift your nose 1 inch up. How are you? Right? So you become arrogant, right? So this is the impact of body language. You have to be very careful as to how is your body language, how is your facial expression, like whether you're smiling and talking, whether you're making the eye contact or not, where is your nose position? It is straight, is it straight or is it up? So that makes the difference. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, Priyankini, my next question is mainly for the students who are going for their placement and for their interviews, and they are hesitate how to face these interviews and how to communicate their best skills. So, what is the main how they will achieve for this?
Okay. For the interviews and placements, I would suggest few things. So before interview and during the interview, right? So first, let's start with before the interview. So the most important thing is planning and practice. Okay. So what to plan? There are a lot of questions, sample questions available in the internet. You can go through the interview questions, just practice them till you feel that you become perfect. And then you can give some mock interviews with your friends, or if there is nobody, with your, own sister, mother, father, anybody, right? So that way you can practice. And the best tool to practice is your own resume, right? Just go through your resume, and then, because they will not ask any questions beyond that, right? So that is something before. And one more important aspect is your confidence. You have to dress up confidently. Even if you're not confident, you have to fake it. That's what I tell to all my students. Fake it till you make it. Appear confident. Dress up wise. Dress up formally, right? And, talk as if like you have no fear within. So although you're nervous, just talk, because this plays an important role. Nowadays, what happens is, when you go to the interview, there's a waiting hall. So there are cameras all around. So the people, if the interviewer, they're watching you, right? Whether, if you're fiddling your hair like this, or, if you're fiddling your necklace like this, or, something like this. So that is a sign that you're nervous, right? So you have to be very careful that, you need to, sit straight, and like talk. Maybe there are other colleagues sitting, and then you need to talk to them normally, so that, they get a sense that, okay, he or she is pretty confident, he's the deserving candidate. So that is before, right? Now, during the interview, the number one thing is, like, you need to be very polite. Now, when I say polite, it's not like good morning sir, good afternoon sir, may I sit, may I stand. No. Polite meaning, see, do not interrupt while the interviewer is speaking. That is the first thing. Second most important thing is, be honest. Suppose you don't know answer, tell it upfront that, I'm so sorry sir, but I don't know it, right?
Okay.
That is important. And few other points, whether, yes, smile to use it like a Brahma Sastra, right? So that, yeah, so that is something, that spreads. No need to smile like me, like I smile a lot, I dil khol ke main hasti hu.
Ah,
In a professional scenario, don't use that. So smile has to be like normal, just a normal chuckle, like this. So it doesn't have to be like very big, or, not smile at all. So that is very important. That is second thing. And yes, be friendly. Being friendly is very important, whether, whoever you meet there. When you go to the organization, suppose it's a housekeeper, it's a maid, it's a peon, or it's your colleague, or it's the boss, just behave friendly with them and be patient, right? Suppose, for example, you're waiting in a waiting room for so long, right? Already you have waited for 1 hour. Then the assistant comes to you, and then they say that, sir, you have to wait for half an hour. So how do you respond? Like, what? Half an hour or aadha ghanta? So don't respond that way. Be patient and say, okay, fine. Right?
Okay.
So these are the few things which you have to keep in mind during the interview.
So, any other thing you want to share about the communication skills, or should I ask you the some tips and tricks about the communication? If I ask you the best 10 tips for the communication, how do you explain it? The numbers just
Okay.
came in my mind basically. So you have to
Yes.
give us that 10 tips
So
now.
whatever I want to talk is within the tips. So it's better I start talking about the tips.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll talk about the 10 best tips to communicate effectively, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing which I tell people is, hi Nashit, thanks for coming here. Hi Chitra. So mirror and match. Okay, so when I say mirror and match, it means that right from the tonality to the energy to the kind of words which the other person is speaking and the body language, you have to try to match everything. So first I'll start with the words. Okay. Now suppose one of my students, suppose she's a lead and she's telling me that, ma'am, I study 10 class. I don't know speak English, ma'am. And if I tell her that, what, you have to speak in English, you have to be enthusiastic, you need to prioritize to learn English, you have to have that grit to, stand through, and you if you want an extravagant lifestyle, you have to speak in English. Do you think she will connect with me?
No.
No, right? Because she doesn't know what is grit, she doesn't know what is enthusiasm, she doesn't know what is, a priority. So I have to speak in the tone of her language.
Okay.
I will be, if I say, okay, okay, no problem. If you have studied till 10th, I will teach you. I will teach you from the basics, right? So the tone, hope you
Right.
understand, right?
Right.
So again, the energy. Now, suppose see, every people talk in a different energy. Like I am kind of a chulbuli, and I'm always a, what you say. My husband says that you are a bomb. I always keep blasting. So like this way is my. Now everybody doesn't like it, right? So some people are like very serious. They want to. So you have to match their energy. If they are little slow, they are comfortable being little slow. You have to try to match their energy, and you also have to be little slow, right? And then, yeah, words and tone is over. Body language. Now, again, you have to make sure that you are making the eye contact with the person. So, in the NLP, recently when I completed my NLP practitioner program, there we were taught that our subconscious mind, tries to accept the other person when you look similar to them. Now, suppose, I am doing like this. Okay, this is the body language. In between, I'm doing like this. Suppose I'm talking to somebody, and once in a while, that person does like this. So I instantly connect to that person, subconsciously. Right?
Okay.
So see, you need not have to do all the time like this, like this, so that the other person, when they come to know that he or she is copying me. To that extent, you don't have to do. But once in a while, uh, if you copy the body language, then it becomes advantage for you to connect with the person more. So that is mirror and match,
Okay.
right? So let's talk about the second point, second tip.
Okay.
So the second tip is repeat. Okay. Now, when you're talking to somebody, so I was reading about a research which said that the attention span, okay, 5 years back was 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, attention span was 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
2 years back, 3.5 minutes. Right
Okay.
now, it is just above 30 seconds.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So, you have to make sure that if you want to make that impact on the other person, you have to repeat what you are saying, right? So recently I attended a webinar by, by a mentor. So he was constantly repeating community, structure, discipline. So he was saying that if you come to my program, what I will provide you is community, structure, discipline. So the whole 4 hours, he kept on repeating it for more than 9 or 10 times. So what happens is when you keep repeating something, so the people, even if after they listen to you and they go home, that community, structure, discipline will still be playing in their mind.
In their mind, right,
So,
right.
yeah, so that is why even I have heard Narendra Modi, he talks about 3 Ds, some discipline, some da da da, right? So that is very, yeah, so that is very important to repeat something, not 10 to 15 times, but if it is a 2 hour or 3 hour conversation, at least 4 times of average, you have to repeat the main points,
Main
right? So
points.
that is, yes, that is repetition. Now, third is clarity. So,
Right.
clarity is, when you want to express something, you have to like express it and in as less as possible, right? Less words uh, does more impact, right? So that way, if you bull bit around the bush and you talk a lot, and then people will lose attention, like 30 seconds ka attention lose ho gaya, and then they don't understand anything. So
Right, right.
you have to try as to jitne kam words mein I'm able to put across my topic or put across my concept, what I want to speak. So that gives a clarity. Okay. So after that, relate. Yes, relate. Now, suppose we are talking about career. Okay, career development, and suddenly one person peeps. Suppose we are 3 people, and I'm giving some some tips on career development, and one person suddenly peeps in and he starts talking about entertainment. You know what? Vidya Balan ने फिर से launch किया अपने आप को. She is doing शेरनी. बहुत अच्छा movie है यार, देखना चाहिए तुम लोगों को. So what will be your impression? आपको लगेगा कि like what is this, like ऐसे लोगों से हम दूर रहना पसंद करते हैं, राइट? लाइक जो अपने बारे ही सोचते हैं, दे डोंट थिंक अबाउट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट कि क्या चल रहा है, सुनना है, उसके बाद एड ऑन. सो दैट इज रिलेट. नाउ व्हेन
Right.
यू आर टॉकिंग इन अ ग्रुप और इवन वन पर्सन, you have to listen to that person carefully, and this is helpful in group discussions as well. Now suppose a group discussion is going on in that topic, you have to pick up some word or some phrase from what the other person is saying and then build on that. Or you can say like, yes, Mr. X, I agree to you, but I want to add on this point. So you should not be so much diverted or disconnected to that point that it completely makes no sense. So that is relate, right? So I think yeah, we talked about 4 tips. So yes, most important thing is let other people speak, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so the people who just speak and speak and speak, they are called dominating, and no, and people do not like them at all, right? So you have to let people speak. That is a very important point. So yes, sixth is verbatim. Verbatim is, again, it is something which I learned in NLP. So verbatim is similar to paraphrasing. As I already mentioned, that paraphrasing is something when you're uh, talking to somebody, it is just a verbatim is just a proof that you're listening to that person, right? Suppose now I'm talking about communication skills, that I'm telling something, then you have to repeat the last word of what I said, right? When I say repeat the last word, then Vishalji will say, okay, repeat the last word. So that is called verbatim, right? It's paraphrasing only. So that's very important to make the other person valuable, to make the other person feel valued and feel important. Okay? So that is, I think, sixth point. And seventh point, commonality. So this is a
Okay.
very important point because commonality helps you in building the rapport with people. It is a रामबाण, you can say, to build rapport. अगर instantly आप rapport build करना चाहते हो ना किसी से, तो commonality एक बहुत ही अच्छा trick है. So what
Okay.
happens here is, suppose विशाल जी ने मुझे कहा कि पता है मैं पहले आईटी सॉफ्टवेयर में मैं मैंने 10 साल काम किया हुआ है, राइट? पहला जब हम लोग पहली बार बात कर रहे हैं, मैं कहूंगी, ओह आईटी, ओके, माय सिस्टर इज आल्सो इन एक्सटेंचर and she's loving her job, she's really happy out there. I really like the IT guys, they put in a lot of work, right? So that is commonality,
Right.
right? जो भी मतलब कुछ मैच वो जेन्युइन होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं कि
Right.
मैंने जस्ट एक एग्जांपल दिया, राइट? तो
Definitely.
मतलब कुछ भी एक उठा के, राइट? जैसे सपोज मैं कहती हूँ कि आई लाइक सनफ्लावर्स, पीछे मेरे सनफ्लावर्स हैं, तो आप कहते हो अच्छा सनफ्लावर्स, अरे ये तो मेरी बेटी को भी बहुत पसंद है, राइट? तो वो कॉमनैलिटी उसमें क्या है कि वो इंस्टेंटली यू कनेक्ट, पर्सनली
Connect करते
यू कनेक्ट.
obviously.
हाँ,
Correct.
that is commonality. So that is a tool which is used very much in rapport building. When you're meeting somebody for the first time, right? अरे यार ये कोविड टाइम में मत पूछो, मेरी सिस्टर बीमार हो गई, राइट? तो इंस्टेंटली यू कैन से ओ माय गॉड सीरियसली मेरी आंटी को भी हो गया था पता है लास्ट मंथ. तो इंस्टेंटली यू कनेक्ट, right? That is commonality. So 7 are over. Empathy. Yes. Eighth one is very important. Empathy. Empathy is when you understand the feeling of what the other person is feeling.
Oh,
Right? Now, suppose somebody, one of my friends, comes to me and says that, "Pata yaar, meri grandma ka na death ho gaya." Right? So you have to sympathize with that person. Right? You have to lift her up. You have to motivate her that okay, ये होता रहता है. That's okay. That is inevitable. Like हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, right? But हम precautions ले सकते हैं, right? जो है हमारे पास मम्मी डैडी उनका ख्याल रख सकते हैं. We can vaccinate them, right? उनको ज्यादा ज्यादा पानी देते रहना है, खुद का ख्याल रखना है. So that way, right? So that is empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in the other shoes and
others.
feeling what they are feeling,
Okay.
right? So suppose in a workplace, right? So maximum times what happens, the employee and the boss relationship is little bitter because the boss doesn't have the empathy, right? Suppose I'm going to my boss and I'm saying that, actually, I understand that it's a very important project. We do have client meeting this week, but it's my sister's marriage and I cannot avoid it. I have to go to my hometown. Can I get a leave of just two days? If my boss starts screaming that, you understand, Priyankini, every time you take leave and you don't understand the condition of my company, you have to reach this target, you have to be there in the client meeting, right? So that is where the boss is not empathizing with you, right? So that is empathy, which is very important in communication. So the yes, listening I already talked about in the beginning. So if you're listening to somebody, it makes them valued. And agar like husband sunta hai wife ki, तो like he is the best husband in the world, right? Similarly, it plays the same role in the workplace. या फिर आप friend से बात कर रहे हो, या फिर आप like कोई business meeting कर रहे हो, right? So if you're listening to your client, they feel valued.
Obviously. Obviously.
Yeah. So वो listening हो गया फिर. Yes. So last, the 10th one is confidence. Okay. So in confidence, I will say only one thing, that is fake it till you make it. Right? Now suppose you don't feel confident within. You're very nervous. Just fake it. Give a fake smile and pretend that you're confident. Right? So that makes a lot of impression, because always remember that first impression is the last impression. When you are able to impress that person by at least faking it, then your job is already done, right? So you have to sound confident, you have to look confident. So that is the 10th point. Yes, Vishal.
थैंक यू प्रियंकनी, आपने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सारे 10th के 10 पॉइंट्स एक्सप्लेन किए यहाँ पे, राइट? तो आई थिंक वी हैव टू टेक क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम आवर ऑडियंस. आई थिंक one of just a second, Nishit Mohij, I think I just add him if he is live. So just I don't know whether he is with us right now.
Oh, hi. Nat.
Nishit, are you
Good
there?
evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So he's one of my students.
Okay.
So, yeah, your name is Nashtiket, right?
Nashit, ma'am. It's Nashit, ma'am. Yeah.
Nashik, okay.
So
Yeah.
welcome,
Yes,
Nasir, on the TURNSKILL Live. Now you can. I saw that you are trying to connect from the beginning of this session, right? So
Yes, sir.
just tell us what exactly your question, and Priyankini is happy to answer all of your questions.
Okay, sir. So my question is, like communication is an effective way to influence people. Like we are running an organization and we want to influence people so that they can join our organization. Suppose we are running in coaching institute or other schools or any other organizations in which we want to people to join us. So what special things or what attributes should it be in our communication so that we can put across our ideas or our skills or our facilities to them?
okay. So you are asking me in terms of a coaching. You have a coaching institute. You want to invite more and more clients, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here I would say, Nashid, that you have to first catch the pain points of your customer, right? You have to completely understand and feel what that person is feeling. What is the pain point? Right? Pain point, as in maybe if you have what institute do you have? What coaching?
Commerce coaching. I run a
Commerce.
commerce classes.
Okay.
Yes.
If that person has come to you to learn commerce, so that is his pain point. What is going on in his mind, right? Is he thinking? I am weak in commerce. I think it's high time to take tuitions, right? So you should be able to feel what your customer is feeling, right? You have to imagine that you are that customer for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then think that okay, वो क्या सोचता होगा? Then talk to him or her in that language, right? So I
Okay,
think
ma'am.
that would help you to connect with your client more easily by
It's like the same thing, ma'am.
sensing the pain point. Yeah.
Empathy that you have told us.
Empathy, yes, yes, empathy. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank,
Nashid.
thank
Nasir. So
Glad
Nasir,
to see you here.
okay. So anyone more? Nasir, do you have any more questions?
you. Not right now, sir, but maybe
Okay.
while
Okay,
the
definitely. You can post your question anytime. And Frankly will answer. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I will
So
love to answer your questions.
so
Thank you, ma'am.
any other person who wants to ask any questions? Mr. Roy, are you there? You want to connect? I think if Mr. Roy. Mr. Roy, are you there? I think actually he wants to connect. Do you have any questions? So, if anyone others have any questions, they can join us right now. I think Priyankini actually initially they have, I don't know. Please join. Mr. Roy, are you there? No. So I think Priyankini, no one has any more questions now. So do you want to end up any few tips more, or Mr. Roy have a question? I think Mr. Roy just we have connected. Just a second.
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay, Mr. Roy,
Yes,
please
sir. Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Hi, Mr. Roy.
Uh,
How are you?
Hi, ma'am. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So
Okay, ma'am.
go
Ma'am.
ahead, Mr. Roy. Ask your question.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, sir. So, yes, sir. Okay. Sure, sir. Ma'am, when you are facing any interview in placement point of view, How can we that? How can we face the interviewer in with our questions? Sorry, with his questions.
Sorry, repeat your question. In an interview, how can we?
When we are facing any interview, how can we face his questions? Like he was asking continuously, we are unable to give the answers. How can we face in that kind of thing?
Okay, good question. So this is for all the people who think that you know how to answer the interviewer's question, right? So again, I would say that active listening is very important, right? So suppose you are not able to follow the interviewer, right? Suppose you're not able to follow, you're just going on asking questions, asking. So there is no problem in saying sorry or pardon. Can you please repeat the question, right? First, you have to try listening to that question. If you're not able to follow him, right? A lot of questions in one time, you can ask the question again. Simple, right? You can say, I'm sorry, sir, but I could not get you. Can you please repeat the question? Right. Any
Okay,
more
ma'am.
questions, Mr. Roy?
Nothing, ma'am. Ma'am, I was observing you like last 1 year when I'm joining in Engro in that application, and
Great.
almost I completed my advanced level in that, and I'm taking like other like Cambly, and the skills is going on that way only.
Very good. Very good. Keep going.
Thank you, ma'am.
Keep
Yeah, okay,
going.
ma'am.
All
Sure.
the best. Any doubts, anything, post your comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your doubts.
Okay, Mr. Roy and Mr. Nisit, I think you have to leave the session because so that we will take another persons if anyone wants to any questions. So you can just leave this session.
Yeah, okay, sure, sir.
Okay, sure.
So
Thank you, both of
any
you, Nakshit and Roy.
Thank you, ma'am.
so we have right now Akhil, Janvi, Vival, Rahul, Rohit. If you have any questions, you can just join us. I think Priyankani, now no questions there. So thank you once again. Thanks for the today's sessions. You have given so much insights about the communication skills. So now I am winding up today's sessions
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
and thank you to all of you guys who are right now with us and also who are viewing this video later on our IGTV. And if you have any questions, you can reach us anytime. You can take Priyankani's free sessions for our platform, so you can join us and build this community and let's learn for tomorrow. So thank you once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Priyankani. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care.